Well, let's get your top story, and that's Telugu superstar Allu Arjun, who has been arrested in the Sandhya Theatre Stampede case. Do remember, this was a premiere show that took place a day before his film was actually about to be released. So last Thursday is when the movie Pushpa 2 came out, but on Wednesday at about 9:30 at night was a special screening of his movie Pushpa 2. And it is Allu Arjun's team that had informed the theatre, the Sandhya Theatre management, that the actor would be coming there along with his security team in order to make an appearance. But the theatre management had not informed any of the fans who had gathered there for that special show, and this is in an area which is extremely crowded. So there were people who were waiting outside, looking at all the celebrations that were taking place, all the arrangements in place, just for the release of that movie a day ahead of its formal release. So of course, Allu Arjun there, he was booked in that case because the minute he reached that theatre, there was chaos and there was a stampede in which a 39-year-old woman lost her life and her 9-year-old son was injured. Now, the Hyderabad police have gone ahead today. They went to his residence at the Jubilee Hill and arrested the superstar in the case. His bodyguard has also been arrested. Now, this is days after the stampede. We have Veera Raghav, my colleague, joining us. Veera, in terms of this particular case, Allu Arjun, the actor of the film, had gone for the premiere show of his own movie. At the chaos that broke out there, how is it his fault? How has he been arrested in this case?
Well, look, this is an important question, Divya. It's not a simple answer for it, because it's a common factor in South Indian cinema where stars create a frenzy when they reach a particular theatre on the first day, first show. So it's not a question of whether Allu Arjun was at fault, but the fact that there was going to be a mob frenzy was obviously something that should have been anticipated by the theatre owners. The police also have a mandate. Look, they cannot stretch themselves beyond in terms of giving protection to events like this. So the question really is, was there prior information about the exact time the star was going to come? Were the theatre owners informed, and did they inform the police in time to create certain security cordon that's there? Because this kind of frenzy is not restricted to Hyderabad or Allu Arjun. It is something that happens for every big southern star when a movie releases on the first day, first show. In fact, this has been a long debate in the South. There have been court cases about allowing movie screenings at 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. in the mornings to avoid, to prevent the screening of such movies at that time, to avoid chaos for the general public. So that's really the question that's being raised right now. One has to go into the facts of the matter. Obviously, as you point out, the private security is saying that they had informed the theatre owners, and the theatre owners had informed the police about the fact that the star was going to arrive there for screening, which meant that then there should have been security and cordoning off of that area, etc. Just reverse the issue a little bit, Divya. If the star arrived there and in mob frenzy, if a star was injured, there would be enormous hue and cry over why there was not enough protection given. So that same thing applies to the fans as well who are going there. Because this is part of the socio-cultural ethos of South India, where when a film comes out, there is this kind of frenzy. So the question really being raised is that should the star also be held accountable? So these are questions that will have to be probed into in detail. It's not just about one star. It's a larger issue that needs to be addressed. Obviously, the FIR here names both Sandhya Theatre or management as well as the star as well. So there are no simple answers to this, but the question of whether prior information went from Allu Arjun's security to the theatre owners. Did the theatre owners inform the police? Were the police capable of providing security enough? Was this all planned in advance? Those questions will have to be looked into very seriously.
Veera, if you're saying that this is something that happens every time a movie is released in the southern states, then of course the protection as far as the entry and the exit of the film stars is of course something that they deal with. And why was not a separate entrance given to the actor when he reached? And of course, what are the protocols that are really in place? Let's go across to Veera. Veera, take us through the protocols that are followed when these stars make an appearance, be it at an event or for the premiere of their own film.
I have been covering events for 16 years now, and we always see when there's an event, the star comes in from a particular entrance where there is nobody except the paparazzi. The media is supposed to enter from another entrance. The public is supposed to have an entrance separate. the star is never taken in from the same entrance because a frenzy can happen. So, and before the star comes in, there is security, there is the theatre management who is already standing there. By chance, if they don't take chances, because you never know. So there's always a lot of security, a lot of organization and planning goes in, Even before the event, like 2 days before the event, there's proper planning and organization that goes into a star coming into a theater. I still remember we have Gaiety Galaxy here where we have seen, Salman Khan used to come, but they have stopped coming to these theaters because they have seen and they have understood that what can really go wrong, and the kind of fan frenzy they have, the kind of fan following they have, they know what can go wrong. So even for promotions, they don't come out. The maximum that a Salman Khan or Shah Rukh Khan now they do is come out outside their house and wave. But prior, they used to come to Gaiety Theatre where people used to come and they used to come out of their car and wave. But they have realized that this can go absolutely wrong. Even for a Ranveer Singh, when Ranveer Singh comes for an event, people go insane, and he really enjoys the fan frenzy. He really enjoys interacting with his fans. But there are at least 20 guards who are guarding him. There's police all around, and this doesn't happen just like that. It has to be planned. Like I said, we have seen a lot of these. And let me take you back to a time when Raees promotion happened, and Shah Rukh Khan was in one of the trains that we were also in as media, traveling from Mumbai to Delhi. And in one of the stations, almost a stampede situation happened just to see him, and a man died because of heart attack in the crowd. So that also was a very similar situation. But in that case, all the stations were alerted from before that this is the train is going to pass and Shah Rukh Khan is in the train. And also the fans came to know about it. But still, even after the security, even after the police, they could not save that life. So this usually happens.
Right. We also have Uma with us. Uma, of course, the actor had apologized earlier, offered 25 lakh rupees as compensation to the family of the deceased. But now he's asking for more time, saying that, he needs time till Monday. That is what he's saying, and that's how that's why he's moved court.
So there's a quash petition that Allu Arjun has moved, and that is expected to come up at 2:30 in the afternoon. The Additional Prosecutor General has said that they will get the opinion and the view of the police on this before proceeding any further on it. And the second part of it is that, yes, Allu Arjun has been charged with serious sections like we mentioned, voluntarily causing grievous hurt, as well as culpable homicide not amounting to murder, and therefore the actor's team has in fact moved court now, asking for time till Monday. And in the meanwhile, we do understand that actor Chiranjeevi has in fact suspended his shooting, and we are told proceeding to meet with Allu Arjun as well. And the second part is political reactions have started to come in fact, and BRS leader, working president of the BRS, Mr K.T. Ramarao, has tweeted on X. He is calling this as an insecurity on the part of the Revanth Reddy government, and he has in fact said that the arrest of the National Award-winning actor Allu Arjun in connection with the Sandhya Theatre Stampede, he says it's a pinnacle of insecurity that he's been arrested in this manner. And he says, while I totally sympathize with the victims of the Stampede, but who failed really, he's asking the question. And treating Allu Arjun Garu as a common criminal is uncalled for, especially for something that he isn't directly responsible. And there is always space for respect and dignified conduct. I strongly condemn the high-handed behavior of the government. That's what he says. And he says that going by the same perverse logic, Revanth Reddy should be arrested for causing the death of 2 innocent people who died in the Hydra controversy. So the arrest of Allu Arjun following the Stampede death of a 39-year-old woman and her son grievously injured and still in hospital, that has now taken a political turn, with the BRS also reacting to the arrest, calling it a pinnacle of insecurity on the part of the government. And he is in fact blaming the Revanth Reddy government for high-handed behavior in the manner in which Allu Arjun has been arrested in this particular case. So while Allu Arjun does belong to a film family, his father Allu Arvind is a producer. His grandfather was also a very well-known film personality. And his father is, of course, the brother-in-law of Chiranjeevi as well. So he does belong to a film family, but many people would say that Allu Arjun's star status came with his own hard work, with his own unique style that he himself has developed. And even before Pushpa, in fact, Allu Arjun was extremely popular, not just among the Telugu audiences, but if you go to Kerala, there would be people who are quite crazy about Allu Arjun and his stylish moves and so on. So he's not someone who is just born with a silver spoon and therefore, given to this kind of an imperious or irresponsible behavior is what his supporters are saying. And that this is something that he was not directly responsible for. He had arrived there only because his fans were all very, very excited and there was a celebratory atmosphere and he wanted to be with them at that time. And that's the reason why Allu Arjun had gone to Sandhya Theatre to watch the first special screening even before the formal release of the film. So while Allu Arjun has been taken into custody by the Chikatpalli police, the visuals of Allu Arjun being taken away by the police, you can see him in fact interacting in those visuals with his wife Sneha Reddy, and he's appearing to be quite cool, I must say, smiling, appearing to be sipping from a cup and also patting her, reassuring her that all will be well. And then we see Allu Arvind, his father, producer as well, trying to get into the same police vehicle as well, and then the police advise him that he should not be doing that, and then he gets off the car and Allu Arjun gets into the car along with the police and drives away from there. So this manner in which Allu Arjun has been arrested, coming in for criticism from the political leaders like Mr. K.T. Ramarao, who is in fact pinning the blame on what he calls as the high-handed behavior of the government, and they say pinnacle of insecurity is what they are calling this. And he says that if Allu Arjun were to be treated like a common criminal like this and arrested in this high-handed manner, he says that even the Chief Minister could be arrested for the death of 2 people following the demolition drive that was undertaken by the Hydra as well. So Allu Arjun's case to come up in court later this afternoon. Will he be sent to jail later this evening? We do know that the medical checkup happening at Gandhi Hospital, after which he is expected to be brought to the courts, where the court will hear the quash petition, and what happens next is something that we will have to wait and see. But yes, there will be a lot of concern among Allu Arjun's fans, for who his new movie has once again brought him hugely into the limelight, has been even otherwise an extremely popular film personality with several hits to his credit, and someone who his fans identify very, very closely with the kind of roles that he has essayed on screen, including in Pushpa, where he, of course, is a very grounded young man that he plays with the lead along with Rashmika Madanna in this particular film. But the film has just about released about, less than 10 days ago.
Breaking
and
all kind of records, Uma, the kind of money is collected.
Actor now being arrested by the police.
Right, the kind of money is already collected in 8 days' time. Of course, to get more on this...
Pushpa 2 has done extremely well, and it has collected over 1,000 crores already. So it is certainly a very, very big film, doing the numbers certainly, and bringing in the returns that any filmmaker, any film producer, any film hero would want. The first part did extremely well, and the second part, just the anticipation of what it is going to be like would have brought the people into the theatres, and it has managed to make the big numbers in theatres as well. Back to you.
Right, Uma, thank you so much. We also have Sanjay Saha, former IPS officer, and we also have Dr. M. Satya Kumar, advocate of the Supreme Court, joining us. Mr. Kumar, over to you first. So what are the options that one has in such cases, given that the charges against the actor are very serious?
Definitely. The first thing is that the state has taken action for which Mr. Allu Arjun squarely could not be held responsible, considering the fact, firstly, he's a normal citizen, then comes he's a celebrity, he has a celebrity status. Considering this fact, he cannot take adequate steps what the theatre should take, because he's already informed that he's coming there. As per the law of tort and the liability, squarely falls on the theatre and not on the actor. Considering this fact, that the state should have been very careful in filing a case against him, because it is seen now as a political vendetta. and now it is, and he has a huge fan following. The state should have been very careful, considering the fact that the theatre owner is quietly responsible for the safety of the theatre. First, primarily, he has the liability. Then comes the liability of the actor. But however, the point to be noted, this case has been filed under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, where the charges have been created against Allu Arjun, and their team has gone now for placing a petition before the High Court for the quash. Meanwhile, Allu Arjun will appear in the lower court, that is for the purpose of bail, and I'm sure that both the things will parallelly happen. We have to see what could be the outcomes of this case as per the court's order shortly. But
Right,
all
Mr.
said and
Kumar,
done, the
of course, the
Stampede case.
actor has also asked for his arrest to be postponed till Monday. Can such an exception be made in such cases?
Ideally, the police has all the powers. The police ultimately has all the powers. State has all the powers. State, as per Article 12 of the Constitution of India, wherein the government has all the power. State has all the power. The police can definitely issue a summon today, issue a summon later also. It is only for the purpose of investigation that they have taken. But by sending him to the hospital for the checkup, there is an indication, there is a possibility of a remand. There's an indication that there is a possibility of remand. So his fans are concerned, and his legal team is working now in a war footing basis to ensure that the petitions are filed in the High Court, as well as even if he is taken for the remand, then he can definitely plead for the bail in the court directly, where the trial also is said to happen later point of time in the trial court. So considering it, he can definitely get the bail if his legal team is going to argue on merits, because at the end of the day, state, when it curtails a fundamental right of a citizen, whether he is an actor or a normal citizen, there is definitely a legal remedy as per the Constitution of India. And the Constitution of India, we are marking 75th year, so that will definitely protect Allu Arjun also. It cannot be an exception for this, and the state should have taken more care. At the end of the day, if these kind of incidents happen in a state, in a location, even the government is also responsible. At the end of the day, there is no reason that Allu Arjun has to take all the adequate care of the security. Allu Arjun is like any other person. He has a liberty to go anywhere. But the state should have been very careful to follow the protocol. If the state would have come to know that the Allu Arjun is coming to a theatre, then even the state should have stepped in to support to ensure that the people are not affected. It's not that security is provided to Allu Arjun, which he will take care. But state should have stepped in to protect that the stampede would not have happened. So accordingly, state also is quietly responsible. So we have to wait and watch what will be the outcome of this case in the days to come. Two remedies for Allu Arjun. One is to file quash, which he has tried to move now. Second is to file a writ petition questioning about the procedure of arrest. Third, definitely can plead for a bail in the court, where he will also be, if he is taken for a remand, then he can plead a bail there as well. And the court can look into the matter and definitely look into the seriousness of the issues. And definitely there is a right of bail as well. As we all know, bail is a norm, jail is an exception. So we have to see whether in this case the same stand will be taken in the events that will happen shortly.
Right. We also have Mr. Sanjay Saha joining us. Sir, how can the actor be held responsible for a stampede that's broken out outside a theatre? He does not own the theatre. He simply made an appearance at the theatre because his film was, holding that special screening just before its release. So, where does the buck really stop? Who is to be blamed in such a situation?
The crowd management has always remained an issue as far as the Indian crowds are concerned. And most of the times when there is stampede and things of that nature, it is basically the inadequate level of management, which is at the core of the issue. Now, what has come to play in this particular case is whether the actor informed the theatre management and whether the theatre management informed the police. If then the police were in know of things, there is absolutely no way we can put the whole blame on Allu Arjun. So that's point number one. Point number two, that there is a show, special show, which is being screened in Sandhya Theatre. It's very difficult to understand how the police intelligence did not know of it. And if I see the video film, so I'm also seeing that there is some police presence. It is not very adequate police presence. There is your press reporter who's talking about in last 16 years, she has seen lots of these events happening, and the actor is brought through a different access. Now that is the reality. But the other issue is there is no police dictated a standard operating procedure. Now, the theater and the security personnel of the actor, at least the security personnel of the actor cannot be completely held responsible, where I presume that the police were in know things. So we are operating area where only the judicial proceedings or the legal proceedings will be able to decide the extent of responsibility and the liability. But in the most of the stampede cases we have seen so far, I think this sort of a direct culpability has not been set in this manner. So might be we are saying this for the first time, where we are fixing it on the actor, that actor himself is directly and squarely responsible, and it's because of his particular action, either intentionally or recklessly, has led to Revati's death, which comes to your section 105 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, and also as per section 118, it led to the injury of her son. So currently it is a catch-22 situation. The police has taken a stand that it has happened not because of them, and they're also holding ground that it happened squarely because of the actor, the theater management, the theater owner, and the security personnel of the actor himself. Now the security personnel of the actor can only take care of whatever is his close access security. They cannot take care of the whole security. And if it is known to the police, and if somehow it is proven that it is known to the police, then the responsibility of the police also moves in. And as the advocate who was speaking before me, he is talking about the state liability. So providing security is a state liability. And once there is intelligence available, and very difficult to believe that in a screening of this nature, the intelligence of the actor going there, or the likelihood of the actor going there, and the nature of frenzy which these actors and actresses create in South India, that is unknown to Hyderabad police, so it's very difficult to believe. With regards to the legality of it, the legality itself is in question as it stands now, and the legality has to be proved in the court of law that this culpable homicide, not amounting to murder, the actor is directly responsible for that, either recklessly or by any action which he has taken, which on the face of it does not connect.
Could it be the security of Allu Arjun was pushing the crowd away, and that's really what caused the stampede, and that is why the actor is being booked?
See, the issue is that in the FIR, every FIR has the narration of the case. Now, in this particular FIR, whether it has been put to the security of Allu Arjun or not, that is another question. I have not gone into the details of the FIR. And the actor's security cannot be held responsible squarely for a stampede wherein there is a huge crowd and actor's security is primarily dealing with the security of the actor, and they have been hired primarily for that purpose. If that security would not have taken care of the security of the actor, and if something were to happen, you can well imagine what would have been the law and order situation and what would have been the repercussions thereof. So to best of my understanding, security is a state subject. The direct correlation on the face of it between the actor and the incident or the culpable homicide, I don't think it is as straight as it is made out to be. And more importantly, it is the Sandhya Theatre owner and the actor's security team to some extent. I think they can be tangentially be held responsible, but police in no way can extricate itself of the responsibility of security and this direct correlation. I think when the FIR comes for quashing or for the judicial trial for quashing of the FIR and also in the arrest sort of a situation.
Time, but of course, many lessons to be learned from this very unfortunate, very tragic incident that took place last week during that special showing. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. Back with a whole lot more to stay with us.